Okay, it was the week of the tsunami. Remember the tsunami? All I wanted to say was the tsunami was terrible. Tokyo was covered in raw fish and seaweed, a situation the mayor described as delicious. Could have been worse, I could have said delicious. But I didn't, because that would have been racy racism. I had a similar thing with Hurricane Sandy. You remember Hurricane Sandy that devastated the eastern seaboard of America? All I wanted to say was it was the worst thing to hit New York since those two planes. Possibly they got it right on that one. I tend to get into trouble with the papers for a joke once a year. Obviously, last year I went rogue. But I tend to get into trouble for a joke with a journalist once a year. Last year, the joke that got me into trouble with the journalist was this one. You probably remember it from the last show. Why are they called sunshine variety coaches when all the kids on board look the same? Now, the word variety is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that joke, right? It's not that bad. The journalist in question said, you can't say that about retarded children. Time out. Because Variety, the children's charity, they do great work. They do a lot of stuff with mentally disadvantaged children. But they also do a lot of stuff with physically disadvantaged children and socially disadvantaged children. You can't lump all those kids together and go, bunch of retarded kids. You can't call anyone retarded kids. You're a journalist. You should know better. And also, being offended on behalf of someone else, in my mind, is literally fuck all. That's just you taking the high moral ground. For you to be offended, I think, minimum, you have to be the one that's offended. So if you're genuinely offended by that last joke, you're retarded. While we're talking about charitable stuff, as you leave this evening, there's going to be a bucket collection. There's people with buckets and tins, and I'll just briefly tell you what it's about. We're collecting money this evening for abused children. And if we raise between us just £500, we can buy their silence. That's clearly a joke, right? The reason I say that's clearly a joke is because I did a gig in Croydon a couple of months ago and a woman genuinely came up to me after the show and went, where are those collection tins? Just unpick that for a second. So not only did she not realise that was a joke, she wanted to help. Is anyone totally unoffended by anything I've said? You're totally unoffended by anything? Well, what's your name, sir? Hamdi. Hamdi. It's an unusual name, you don't hear that every day. Well, I imagine you do, it's your fucking name. Hamdi, what do you do, Hamdi? You're a student, what are you studying?
Economics.
Economics, whereabouts?
Royal Holloway.
Royal Holloway? Well, maybe if you'd worked a little bit harder for your A-levels. Just say Royal Holloway is not, I mean, come on. There are universities that have always been universities. There are universities that used to be polytechnics that then became universities. And then there's Royal Holloway, which I think used to be a 24-hour garage. And they got a delivery of books and they fucking went with it, God love you. Right, let me try and offend you. All right, when I was at school, a mate of mine got caught wanking in the showers. Nothing? Well, it ruined the school trip to Auschwitz. It's not going to get any more offensive than that, dude. It's a joke about the worst thing that has ever happened. Oh, I can't tell you a more offensive joke than that, but I can tell you a story about me that will change your mind about me and then change it right back. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. Okay. Well, it concerns... It's basically telling you about what it's like being famous. What it's like is people ask you to do things, and it's nice to say yes, because normally it's fun stuff. Do you want to be on Top Gear? Yes, I do. Do you want to do a Jubilee? Yes, I do. Do you want to come and visit a hospice? It's palliative care for teenagers. Yes, I do. I got that call about 6 years ago. I said, yeah, I'll go. I didn't know what some of those words meant. I thought it sounds all right, teenagers. I imagine that'll be fun. Now, it transpires, palliative translates to dying, and I found myself in a situation where I went, well, I've got to go. I've said I'll go. And thinking, this is going to be shit. Hand on heart, I thought, this is going to be fucking shit. But I said I'll go, so I'll go. So I went there with very low expectations. I thought, I'll be lucky to get through this without tearing up. I went there, it was genuinely, I couldn't believe what a fucking arsehole I am. Because it was genuinely inspirational. It was brilliant to go. If you get a chance to visit a hospice, go to a hospice. They're amazing. Because I don't know what inspires you, but I like that idea of carpe diem, living in the moment, now being where happiness is. And if you meet life-limited teenagers, they're having that because they're aware of how precious time is, and I think we often forget in our day-to-day lives. So it was amazing to go and to be around. I've been back many times since, and I'd recommend it as a thing to do. It's really fun. They don't want to be shut away. They want to be part of society. The thing that blew me away when I went there was an incident. So if I go out to get coffee before the show, if I go to Starbucks, obviously my coffee shop of choice. Similar views. But if I go out to get coffee before the show, right, if there's a group of 15-year-old girls in the coffee shop, they'll be really flirty with me, not because I'm some super attractive dude, but because I'm a celebrity and there's a cachet to celebrity in our society, for better, for worse. There just is, it's a fact. So I'm used to that kind of flirting in that context. I wasn't expecting it within the context of palliative care for teenagers in a hospice. There's a girl in there, she just turned 15, pretty little thing, and she's a massive comedy fan. And she had all the DVDs, seen everything on YouTube, like really into it. And she was really flirty and really tactile. And I thought, what? All she wanted was a kiss. And I thought, well, where's the harm? She's going to be dead before she can testify. I can see you think that's bad, but I can make that worse with just 2 words. True story. It is a true story, it just happens to be about a different Jimmy. Thank you so much for coming out, Hammersmith. So fun. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers. Good night. Thank you.